Look at that, not a cloud in the sky, apart from them, but forget them, there's not a cloud in the sky. Good morning folks, and welcome to today's vlog. We're just having a relaxing jaunt around our favourite place in central Bedfordshire, being ZSL Whipsnade Zoo. We have been given on entrance a top trumps sheet, information sheet with a game on the back of it and a complimentary card, of which we are going to try and take on the zoo itself, possibly. Whether I actually do that or not, I'm not sure, but I have gone one and above. Bought a pack of them ourselves because I love the animals so much, and that was £6 in the store, so not a bad offer. Anyway guys, let's go and do this. You know what, I have never ever filmed this location. So this bit here, you have the train track, the single carriage train track with the train that goes right around the zoo, but it shows over the back there the little workstation where they'll be moored up for the evening, pile of coal there, just some of the old transport carriages. Obviously this is probably mocked up, I don't think they've ever been used for anything or anything for specific. Yeah, if you're into your trains and things like this is going to be fascinating to you, but I'm pretty much here for the animals. Can you imagine trying to lift that? Anyway, let's leave this stuff be and go and see our first animals of the day, which will be our personal favourites today, the elephants. Wallabies right there, not exactly stopping, waiting for a train, but they're cute nonetheless. And at this time of year, I don't think these have, but you might see joeys. I know people have posted photographs recently with the mums with the little joeys with the little head sticking out. Okay, we have an elephant herd here. At the back there, possibly the male. He does interact now and again, but here are your ladies. So in amongst that you can have Donna, who's my favourite, who's just shielding her baby, whose name of Nang. There'll be a little Elizabeth in there as well, named after our queen, who is now dearly departed. Of course you're going to have Maya in there, Auntie Luca, and they just are very, very beautiful and gracious, and they love interaction with humans. What these ladies will be doing is just nudging the earth forward. You see them with their pads. That's what elephants have. Elephants have pads. They don't have paws or hooves, etc., but it's rather a large pad. They'll just nudge the grass forward, and then they'll collect that grass with their trunk, as you can see them doing now, and that is how they'll eat the cuds, I guess you call them. They're also stripped bark in the same way, but apart from that they will be fed straw. It's a shame they used to form an orderly line, trunk to tail, and walk around the entirety of the park with a keeper. It used to happen every day around 2 o'clock. Something sadly of the past. You never know, they might bring it back one day. And it really is cute and a lovely thing to see. That's your size difference there. Obviously Nang in the middle is probably coming up to about 2 years old. Donna to the right, she's got to be, oh, must be at least 8 years old now. And then her mum to the left of that, which I believe is Maya, and she's got to be in her late teens now, I believe. What a wonderful family. That's of course if I've got them right. Unless you really look closely, these elephants can look very similar. I think this is Luca coming towards me now, just to the side. That's Luca, I believe. They're very, very inquisitive. Now the Asian elephants, the difference between them and obviously the African elephants, if you look at their trunk, they've got a different nostril and their ears are obviously smaller. The African elephants, obviously with the large ears, their ears are shaped like Africa. And these Asian ones, some of the females do get these little teeth, almost like tusks. It's only truly the males that will get the big, whopping, great big tusks that you see. But that obviously leads to trouble in the wild with your poachers, etc. I may have misled you because I believed, if I pan the camera round, that that could have been the male down at the bottom there. But I've just seen him in the pen at the back. So he will keep himself to himself. And with the elephants here, generally they will have, if they have baby elephants, calves that will probably be up to about the age of 6, then they get a bit boisterous, their testosterone takes over, and then they generally move them on to breeding groups around the world so they can be introduced to more of their own species, leaving pretty much a solitary male here and the rest of the females, which will have a matriarchy, so it's the females that take the lead here. So there are people out there that will know the names of the elephants, similar to why, is that Maya or is that Kaylee? I believe Kaylee might be Donna's mum, which would make that Maya over there. They've had a bit of a falling out over the years. It's all that matriarchy lark. And then obviously, as I said, I believe that's Luca there. Luca had a stillbirth and the calf become like a calcium deposit within her, and she's always got the calf in her.
Do we know? They're vegetarians, aren't they, our elephants?
I've seen the little baby one, I haven't seen it.
Yes. He must have the upper one.
You ever hear these girls speak, it's all like squeaks and little murmurs, especially the little one. They do have they did have an apparatus which showed you here how they used to communicate. It's very similar to sonar. Here we go, guys. This is your solitary male. He will spend a good 90% of his life by himself wherever he is in the world, whether he was in a savannah somewhere in Asia. It's just specifically what they do. They would just keep themselves solitary and then go meet up with a herd to mate and then move on. As you can see, he does have a rather large set of tusks, but he's not actually that old. I think he's less than 10, I'm sure he is. I'm not sure the name of this elephant. There used to be Emmett, which was the male elephant. Got to a point where he'd breeded as much as he could with the group that we've got here, and then he moves on, because obviously it is dangerous for them to continuously mate with the same females. But he's beautiful, and I could not Just see the females playing together without coming to say hello to this big fella. Got himself a nice stick there. And what that is, that's called lucan. It's like a growth on the side of the branches, and he wants to strip that, eat that bark. You probably could consume the whole wood, but specifically they're after what is it? I'm sure it's called lucan. I know a lot of your reindeers etc. eat it, but they'll strip that and they'll get nourishment out of it. As you can see, one of the ways to get a close up to the elephants is to take the steam train for an additional cost around the park, and that brings you around the back of the paddock. Then it goes on from there to see some of your deers, elks, camels etc.
I keep trying! Yes. Yeah, it's very tired.
Not yet, mate. Hold on.
So here we go, is one of your many information boards. Obviously endangered. That's due to man, not due to anything else at all. Life expectancy of 60. Even the same as that, even be it wild or in captivity. And then will weigh somewhere between 3 to 5.5 tonne. This notes some of those many differences between the two breeds, the Asian and the African elephant. That was their original overnight paddock, which you'd go through either that door there or this one here. That's sealed off now, but it's all joined adjacent to this larger building now, which has been their home for overnights if they wanted to stay indoors for a good few years. So I'll just show you that, and then we'll move on and see some other animals. This centre was opened by our late Queen in 2017 with the Duke of Edinburgh by her side, and that is why one of the elephants, the younger ones, is called Elizabeth, named in her honour. And here we have your keepers, those who look after the elephants, preparing their area. They'll put food. I believe elephants, the same as chimps, love the likes of peanut butter, so they'll spread that in amongst the branches. They'll put little things so they have to work for their food. Just sort of little bits of food here and there, so they will scour around. There'll probably be food in amongst that heap there, in these bales. Just so it's not just sort of handed to them, just so they have some sort of interaction, and they have things hanging down from the trees. Sometimes they'll get bananas, but it is generally possibly likes of cabbage, straw, berries, nuts, etc. And I said, this is where, especially if there's a storm, they will spend their time. Just keeps them out of harm's way. Anyway, let's move on to some of the zoo's other animals. The sound of the aircraft going above, that is obviously because we're on the flight path of Luton Airport. That is your superior, which is taking her guests around the park today. So we've decided it is ice cream time. Well, the weather is beautiful today. So this is what we are dealing with. So we have a soft serve vanilla ice cream with a flake, otherwise known as a 99, with sprinkles and a strawberry stroke possibly raspberry sauce. That will go down very nicely. Noisy gathering of the old flamingos there. Some of the guys I watch in the States, the likes of Tampa J and Chris the Girl, these are their favourites. Obviously living in Tampa, these frequent that area. We go to the likes of SeaWorld and actually take the flamingos for a walk. And it's only when you are up close to them you realise how huge they actually can grow. Look as if they're having a bit of a territorial fight today. They're beautiful in colour. Just panning in and looking at this area. We know these as lie downs, obviously it's lions, but we have two female lions which are new to the zoo here, and they are Waka and Winter, spelt with an A, so it's W-I-N-T-A. And they are waiting for Malik, who will arrive in probably a week or so's time, who is a young male lion. And then this will be the start of a whole new era, a whole new pride for Whipsnade Zoo. Now they've put up a little sort of barrier here because these lions are not used to a glass enclosure, so it could freak them out. So they're keeping us at a distance while these guys settle in. But they certainly look young. And certainly doing what lions do best, which is lie down. Obviously different animals act differently to different situations. You would expect if, say for instance, they were cows, they'd be sitting down, but it's a nice sunny day and it's snoozy time. These obviously your white rhinos and greater one-horned rhinos. I think there's now 9-10 of them here, including the youngster, Nandy, which is a bit of a troublemaker. Comes galloping around, but it's probably asleep somewhere. Your greys and zebras here, taking shelter under a tree. Not shelter from the rain, but maybe from the rays of the sun. Really is a picturesque field at the moment with all these buttercups. You can just see that hint of yellow everywhere. And these, when they talk, it's like a giggle. It's not really like a horsey sort of noise. High pitched, giggly sort of squeak. Let's just leave them be. Let's go and see what else is afoot. Someone obviously wants a bit of an audience. Your giraffes out in force. Very graceful. And a bird's eye view of everything going on in the zoo. Little baby Wilfred over there, certainly got a lot braver than he was in his early days and months. Obviously found something that's tasty. See his huge blue tongue coming out there. That is possibly mum in the background. But when these guys are born, they're just like a big cuddly teddy bear. Look at them close up. Peculiar looking, but certainly got an element of cuteness. And no longer phased. Was very, very timid in the early days. Hi there, Wilfred. Get your tongue out your nose. You see he'll wrap his tongue around the foliage, rip it off, and then that becomes a tasty snack. See what I mean though? It's like a cuddly teddy bear.
Yeah, we're sort of now.
See an eye on what's happening with mum over there. Always aware of what's going on around them.
She's over there, come quickly.
And then back to snacks.
I'll tell you what we can do.
Is he on the double footy?
I just think this fella here, he's probably about coming up to 9 feet. His mum in the distance there, probably fast approaching 16 feet tall. And when they're born, they're very much like Bambi legs. There we go, people have paid for the opportunity where they can actually go and feed the giraffes. Opportunity of a lifetime for many. Obviously we take our opportunities when we go to the likes of SeaWorld to see some of your aquatic creatures. And there are your measurements. So I probably go just borderline 6 foot. Rachel's 5'8". Yeah, 5'8". Wild dogs trotting around in their pen. You can't see fully out in the open on the plain area because the reeds and the grass is so high. It must be coming up to 6 foot in places, and these guys are probably about 4 foot high at the tallest, so well camouflaged. I think you've just got a couple out patrolling while the others have a snooze in amongst the bushes. Obviously they're more active when they know they're about to get something to munch on. Pretty much like us. Bison shedding their heavy winter coat to a more relaxed summer coat. As you can see, they'll probably just drag that against the fence, shrubs, bushes, etc., and it'll come off naturally.
Where's the
have one of those for someone.
No.
Sleepy bear time.
We did, we went to Berlin.
Dreaming the world away. In your large pen, plenty to play with now. Two sisters in here with you again. You think all the bears in here are less than probably 4 years old, tops. And you wouldn't want to get in there with them. As cute and cuddly as they would look, getting a clout with them, off one of them, be like being punched by Mike Tyson with razor blades as nails. But they wouldn't generally attack man. It's just a defence mechanism. The brown bear doesn't see you as food. The black bear, however, does. What a change. I mean, this was barren probably about less than a month ago, but we've had a multitude of rain and a plethora of sun, and this is your aftermath of it. Plenty of foliage everywhere. Gives the bears plenty of places to hunker down, get shade, stay out of people's way, which they prefer. Just goes to show you the foliage can hide all sorts of creatures. Large apex predator in there, which is obviously your brown bear. Pan out, you would not even know it was there as it walks off in the distance.
I used to watch them initially as a kid. So you see about plants and things as well in certain trees, I know, like.
Oh, look at her. Bye-bye.
She was interested in the
You did it. Look at me.
It's only when you see them from here you realise how young these bears actually are. As that one's pretending to play the role of a mummy by the looks of it.
А что он ест? Что он делает? Денис, давай ты какой-то видео. Сейчас.
I said to him, call you as well.
Вся морда.
I'm saying hello.
Here comes Puff out for a run. Puff is a Wolverine. Not part of the Marvel franchise.
Yeah. Look, there's another one, quick!
It's going over to the old Velociraptor pit now. Obviously that's what I just call it. Usual hangout of the wallabies. Whether they're there today in numbers or not, or whether they're just out on the bank, I don't know. But if there's any sign of them around here, I'll show them to you. Doesn't actually look like it at the moment. And it's just this ornate staircase that some people just say is an old waterworks, but why would it be so ornate like that? And this reminds me of what I am coming up to tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, actually be Bank Holiday Monday. I've decided to do an urbex. Just one of these. I have like a bucket list of urbexes, so in my view, if it's something iconic to look at, to go and walk around, not into doing your just general abandoned houses. I don't want to look through people's properties, but things that have been abandoned for a long time, nothing left but pretty much a shell, in total state of ruins, then I'm interested in it. And iconically, the one that I'm going to look at, because it's been burnt out, actually looks like something out of a fairy tale. Anyway, you'll see what I mean on Monday. Going to leave the penguins for today and show you guys them next time we're up the zoo, which would probably around a month's time. I think we plan to come up here once a month and just continue. But just look at that view on a clear day. It's stunning, it really is. Let's see if we can walk around here without getting pounced on or pooped on as we are in with the lemurs. Does anyone know the collective noun for a group of jumping lemurs? I certainly don't. They're quite cute, cuddly, and they bounce.
Just watch your back, sir. We might get a lemur trying to jump over you.
That's fine.
On the move. I can't get it. I can't get it. No, I'm not allowed.
They don't not like. I think they're a bit confused by it. Thinking, why are they eating all the food? It's attached there, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about? It was seen by about 4 people.
Right, I want you to go straight to like TV and all the parties.
Oh, a couple of fun parties. A couple of fun parties.
Because we don't give them fruit. And that's not the thing. This is the fruit that we eat.
I'm just going to squidge past you and linger by the door.
No worries. From your ring-tailed lemurs to your largest primates apart from myself that are actually here, which are obviously your chimpanzees. Don't call them monkeys, they do get very upset if you do. Now that is a huge climbing frame they've got to play around with. Just scurrying around, probably looking for pieces of fruit and veg. They do tend to throw the likes of your raisins in there, so they've got to specifically hunt around and forage for them. Just bedding down, getting himself some shade. something that I think I should probably do soon as well. The heat really does burn me badly. It seems a lifetime away now. I never was about when these were your old elephant enclosures. Look how small it was. These tiny little turrets. That'd be where the elephants lived, and it used to be like a sandpit. A bygone era. Well left to the past. Obviously this is a listed building, so they cannot do anything with it. It has to be left like this. Similar to, there is a an old penguin pit, which was, or still is, at London Zoo. There you go, a long time ago, 1935. Just shy of 10 years away from a century ago. Kind of guess where the structure's still here, of all them stalactites hanging down. But if they could do something with this, maybe clear it up, make sure it was safe, they could put maybe a small little museum in there, because there's certainly a heck of a lot of history here. Well guys, that's going to be it for today. We just enjoyed a gentle stroll around our favourite place, which is the zoo here in central Bedfordshire, Whipsnade. It is the UK's largest safari area, to be honest with you. Really enjoyed it. Perfect day, not a cloud in the sky. And did you enjoy it?
I did. I had a lovely time.
We purchased some sort of top trump cards. Just something that is because it's got the animals that I love. I know them by name, so I got that for them. We'll take them home, we'll have a look through them, and that'll give me further information to bring up when we do future tours of here, which is usually about one a month. And anyway, with that, I have an urbex coming up on Monday, possibly an explore of some old ruins as well, depends on what happens. And with that guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the movies, and so will Rach.
Hi.
Bye for now.